13-Week Theater is supported by Patreon. Subscribe now and get exclusive early access. In the late 1950s, a screenwriter for Columbia Pictures named Frederick Kohner was fascinated by his daughter Kathy's involvement in California's up-and-coming surf culture. Kohner wrote a novel based on stories Kathy told him about her adventures and gave his lead character the same nickname that his daughter had, a portmanteau of girl and midget, Gidget. Kohner, who would go on to write a total of 8 Gidget novels, sold the film and TV rights to the novels to Columbia, who made the first in a series of Gidget movies in 1959, starring Sandra Dee as the title character.
What in the world is a Gidget? It's a girl, a cuddling, befuddling teen, who set out to find her a man of her own, and found 7 young beachcombers with a single thought: to enjoy life and love.
2 sequels followed, with other actresses playing Gidget, and by 1965, Columbia's Screen Gems TV division was ready to bring Gidget to the small screen. Actor Don Porter, who had played Gidget's father in Gidget Goes to Rome, agreed to reprise the role on TV. Producers cast Lynette Winter as Gidget's best friend LaRue, and Betty Connor as Gidget's older sister Anne, both of whom appeared in the books but not the movies. And for Gidget, they cast a young, unknown actress named Sally Field.
Hi, I'm Sally Field, for the moment. But on Wednesday, September 15th, I'll be meeting you for the first time as Gidget. From the moment we met, we knew we were meant for each other. And then, dear diary, he kissed me as he's never kissed me before. And I sank into nothing.
Francis.
Francis?
I do not consider sinking into nothingness nothing.
I was telling LaRue, never try to deal honestly with a man. They simply do not know how to cope with it. Surprise!
Personally, I think it's a waste of time the way that girl is built.
I'm going to worry about that.
Well?
I'm going to worry about that. Watch Gidget Wednesday night, September 15th, in color on ABC.
ABC's promotional team went all out for Gidget, including having Sally Field call in radio commercials in different markets aimed at teens.
Join the kids at Nesbitt, Kingsbury, and Overton High to see me as Gidget. Wednesday nights at 7:30 on WHBQ TV, Channel 13. And if you have enough time after homework, write me and tell me how you like the show.
Yeah, gang, that was Channel 13's Gidget with a personal invitation to you to tune in her show and see what's happening every Wednesday night at 7:30 on 13.
And finally, for the theme song, they got singer Johnny Tillotson, who had had a big hit with Earth Angel. Gidget premiered on ABC on Wednesday, September 15th, 1965 at 8:30. Each episode was narrated by Gidget herself, often talking directly to the audience as if she was writing in her diary about the day's events.
You see before you me, Gidget. For 15 and a half years, my life was a complete and total ick. But then, on the 23rd of June, 2 things happened. I fell in love with 2 things. Jeff, my moon doggy, and surfing.
Storylines included school troubles, home troubles, boy troubles, and, of course, surfing. The beach scenes gave Gidget bragging rights about being the show showing the most skin on TV that year, even if none of it was in a prurient way. Gidget struggled in the ratings. At the time, Wednesday nights at 8:30 were dominated by CBS's Beverly Hillbillies, and people who weren't watching that were over on NBC watching The Virginian. Gidget was consistently last among the 3 network offerings in its time slot during the fall. In January, ABC moved the show to Thursday nights at 8, right after another new show they had big hopes for. Unfortunately, that move put Gidget right up against Gilligan's Island. In the end, Gidget just couldn't compete with some of TV's biggest hits of the season, and ABC announced the cancellation on April 22nd, 1966. But the show refused to die. 2 weeks later, on May 5th, Gilligan's Island finished its second season and went into reruns. Bored teenage audiences went looking for something new to watch. Oh, and by the way, that other new show that they put on before Gidget? It was Batman. Without Gilligan to turn to, teenagers watching Batman just left the dial where it was and wound up discovering Gidget. Within weeks, Gidget became the hottest new show for teens. Sally Field became one of TV's biggest stars, among young folks at least, and ABC had an unexpected hit on their hands. A hit they had already canceled. There was talk about renewing the show after all, but as a cost-cutting measure, Gidget had been sharing a studio and sets with CBS's Hazel, another Screen Gems production which had also been canceled. With both shows that used the studio officially dead, Screen Gems wasted no time in tearing everything down, repurposing the studio, and cutting the casts loose. They couldn't keep Gidget if they wanted to. The cost of restarting everything would have been prohibitive. Hoping to salvage the situation, ABC and Screen Gems quickly went looking for a new project for Sally Field. And much to Field's everlasting chagrin, they found one. Sally Field would, of course, later go on to become an Oscar-winning actress, but it was the 3 years as Sister Bertrille, the Flying Nun, that made her a household name. It was Gidget that first made her famous.